Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a document here, and our goal is simple. Cut through it, pull out the key info, and give it straight to you.
Exactly. We take the source today. It's just one official paper, and make sure you understand what really matters from it.
And today, we're diving into the world of income tax, specifically a circular from the Central Board of Direct Taxes.
So our mission really is to unpack this single government document. We want to figure out precisely what it's saying about a pretty important deadline.
Right, and what it means for you, the listener.
Exactly.
So if you've been maybe thinking about your income tax return assessment year 2025-26, wondering when it's due.
Yeah, who isn't thinking about that?
Then you really need to pay attention to this deep dive. Let's get into it.
Okay, so first things first. Let's be clear about where this comes from. It's circular number 06-025.
Right.
Issued by the Central Board of Direct Taxes, the CBDT. And crucially, it's issued under Section 119 of the Income Tax Act, 1961.
Okay, so that means it has teeth. It's not just, like, advice.
Oh, absolutely not. It's an official directive. It carries legal weight.
Got it. Official stuff. So what's the main topic? The subject line, basically.
The document itself spells it out pretty clearly. It says, extension of due date for furnishing return of income for the assessment year 2025-26.
Assessment year 2025-26. That's income earned mostly in the last financial year, right? April 24 to March 25.
That's generally right, yeah. So it's about giving more time to file that year's return.
Okay, more time than what was the original deadline they're changing?
Well, for the specific group the circular is talking about, the original date was July 31st, 2025.
July 31st.
All right.
Okay. And the big news, the reason we're diving into this.
The big news is the extension. This circular pushes that deadline back.
To when?
The NUW due date is now September 15th, 2025.
September 15th. Okay, that's a decent chunk of extra time.
It is, yeah, over 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But here's the really critical part. Who gets this extra time?
Right. Does it apply to everyone?
No, it doesn't. The circular is very specific. It says the extension is for assessees, taxpayers, basically who are, and I'm quoting the technical bit here, referred to in Clause C of Explanation 2 to subsection 1 of Section 139 of the Act.
Okay, wow. That's a mouthful. Clause C of Explanation 2 to subsection 1 of Section 139. How does someone listening know if that applies to them?
Yeah, that's the key question, isn't it? And the circular itself, the main text, doesn't just spell it out in plain English.
So how do we figure it out?
Well, we can look at standard practice, but also the circular itself gives a clue. It lists who received copies of this document.
The distribution list. Who's on it?
Exactly. It includes organizations like the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, various chambers of commerce.
Okay, so professional bodies, business groups.
Right. And that strongly suggests, that the taxpayers covered by this clause C are typically those who need to get their accounts audited.
Audited, you mean under the Income Tax Act itself?
Precisely. So think certain companies, maybe businesses or professionals hitting specific turnover levels, situations where an audit is mandatory for tax filing.
Got it. Okay. That makes a lot more sense now. So if you're a taxpayer and your accounts have to be audited for income tax purposes, then this extension.
Then this extension from July 31st to September 15th is almost certainly for you.
Okay.
And this circular 062025, it was issued May 27th, 2025, signed by Dr. Castro Jayaprakash D, the Undersecretary. It's all official.
So just to recap this deep dive nice and clear, the CBDT has officially extended the income tax return deadline.
Yep, for assessment year 2025-26.
Moving it from July 31st
to September 15th, 2026.
But, and this is the important part, it's for a specific group.
Right. Most likely, based on everything, it's for those taxpayers who are required to have their accounts audited under the tax law.
Okay. And just a final thought for you, our listeners, something to mull over, kind of building on what we found in the document itself. We talked about that distribution list.
Yeah.
The chartered accountants, the chambers of commerce. Think about who those groups actually represent.
Yeah.
How does knowing who officially received a copy of this circular sort of reinforce our understanding of exactly which taxpayers this extension was really aimed at?
Something to consider.